What's up, everybody, and welcome to the retreat. Now, there are a couple of things that we want to go over, that way your experience can be that much better. First and foremost, let's go over the two machines that we offer, the Juki TL18 and the Juki DX2000s. In this video, we're going to go over how you thread them, how you wind a bobbin, and how you insert that bobbin. In addition to that, we're going to go over the irons that we use here and some etiquette on the design boards. So let's get started. Let's dive into the Juki TL18, which is the most common and most used machine that we have here. So first and foremost is how you wind a bobbin. Very simple. You're going to pull your bobbin. You have one in your machine, and then we also provide a second one on top. So find whichever one's more convenient for you. And you're going to drop the bobbin directly down onto the bobbin winder found at the top right corner of your machine. If you see there's a little notch in these bobbins here, that is because there's a tiny little peg on the bobbin winder itself. So when you put it on top, make sure you hear it click. Now from here, it's time to add your thread. In your gift baskets, we provide you with some thread to get you started. Go ahead and extend your spool holder here. Now, you see that there's two loops here. Whichever one your thread is on, you're gonna go directly above that one. So I'm gonna go directly up and clip it into place. Then from there, this right here is our tension disc for our bobbin winder. You're going to wrap it completely around that and towards your bobbin itself. Now that we're here with our bobbin, what you're gonna do is place your thread on the back side of the bobbin and rotate it around. Give it a good 5 to 10 spins around. Now that we have our thread threaded to our bobbin, this metal bar here, we're going to push into the bobbin, and it should fit perfectly in between your bobbin. Once we have this engaged, all we're going to do is push on our foot control. And guys, you're going to just push all the way down on it. It has an automatic shut off, and so just go for it. Just like that. Now that our bobbin is full, all you're going to do is break that thread or snip the thread, and that is a perfectly wound bobbin. Now, how do we put the bobbin into the machine? Very simply done here. You're going to lift the lever right here on the side of your machine. You stick your hand down inside of the machine. There is a lever on your bobbin case. That lever, when it flips up, you can grab onto it and pull your bobbin out. I'm gonna go ahead and put my bobbin case down on the table. If you see my string here going all the way down and it wraps around my bobbin like that, it makes the number 6. Everyone wants to give you information of it. It has to be counterclockwise, right way, left ways, makes it easy for everyone. Make the number 6, pick up the number 6 and drop it directly into your bobbin. That is the proper installation of your bobbin into bobbin case. On the left side of your bobbin case, there is a little teeny slit, and you let your thread go into that slit and around to the front. And then you know for sure that is in place because it's not moving when you hold it up. Then from here, guys, all you're gonna do is with this latch closed, okay, you don't have to have it open, and you're gonna push it into your machine and you wait to hear the click. So listen, that is a properly installed bobbin with bobbin case. Now from here, we're going to thread our machine. If you look here, it is still hooked up for our bobbin winder. We have just wound our bobbin, so this is the most natural scenario when you're going to be doing this. All we're going to do is pull our thread out of our tension disc for our bobbin winder, and then we are going to leave it where it's directly above the loop. We've put it through the loop, and then we take it over to these 3 holes here. Now, you're going to go straight down hole number 1, wrap it around, and go straight down hole number 3. Then from there, there's a tension disc directly in front of it. Go straight down and put it on the right side of the next tension disc. Make sure we wrap all the way around, and you'll see this little teeny check spring here. We're gonna wrap all the way around our second tension disc and then go back forward, catching that spring. I always check to make sure that spring is engaged just by pulling on it a little bit. From here, there's a little hook. We're gonna go behind the hook, and then we're gonna go directly up, putting it into our take-up lever, going directly down. There's a little teeny U-shaped piece of metal here that it goes through, and then there's a tiny wire in the back here, just like so. Now we're at the point of the needle. Now, if you want to thread this machine by hand, I know a lot of you out there like to, it goes from left to right. The needle hole is from left to right, not forwards and backwards on this machine. And so you can simply thread the needle like that, or you can use the assisted needle threader if you choose to. All you do is push directly down, pull it behind the 2 fingers and towards the front, and it will thread your needle there. Now again, if you want to do it by hand because you're not comfortable with the needle threaders, absolutely. Just make sure that you're putting your thread, the needle's here, putting your thread from left to right, and it will work beautifully. Now, obviously at this point, our machine is ready to go. Let's just do a quick double check, and we are going to go ahead and give this a sew. Beautiful, beautiful stitching there. Now, a couple of extra features on this machine that you should be aware of. Coming over here to the right of the machine is where all the things that you can change are. Top dial here is your length of stitches. Makes that pretty simple. Needle up, needle down. Your scissor button, which cuts your thread. To the right of the scissor button is your speed control, okay? If it's all the way up next to the rabbit, it's very, very fast. If it's all the way down towards the turtle, it's very slow. Then this lever right here is your reverse button. And then if you wanted to do free motion, make sure you contact one of us and we'll be happy to help you. But this is your lever to move your feed dogs to go under. One special feature that our machines have here is if you sew and you want to cut your thread, if you push down on the bottom of this heel, it will cut your thread automatically, which is a very nice feature. However, it bugs some people out there. Now, there are two ways to solve this problem. Way number one, turn your foot control upside down, put your foot here, and then it will sew just the same, right? Other way is do the sideways turn and sew right here on the big blue button. It's only the heel click that makes your machine cut. So just be mindful of that. If you're having issues with it too, let us know and maybe we can figure out some other way to help. So all in all, that is the understanding that you'll need to be able to operate this machine during our retreat. Now we're gonna move over to the DX2000 to give you the same overview. So guys, if you are seated in front of a DX2000, which looks just like this, you'll probably come to it with the lid down. These are the things that you'll need to know. First and foremost is it's a computerized machine, has a couple more features. It also has zigzag. The prior machines are straight stitch only machines. Now, all of you will find this piece of tape here, which is your 1/4 inch foot. If you are somebody who likes to use a 1/4 inch foot, some people like to use the foot that's directly on the machine. You get options here. Now, we're gonna start off with winding a bobbin. First, you're gonna find your bobbin on top of your machine, already pre-clicked in, and this will feel very natural for most people out there because this follows the same normal features of a machine. So I'm gonna take this spool of thread, add it to the side of my machine or my spool there, and there's numbers here. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. We're going to just follow our numbers, which is going around the first lever there, going in front of the second, around our tension disc to the clip, and then directly to our bobbin here, Carter in the background. We're going to spin our thread around a few times again, just like the last machine, back side of our bobbin. And then as soon as we engage this piece here, we're gonna just push this forward. It will automatically go ahead and pull the thread off. It's an automatic everything on this machine, which is fantastic. Depending on what spools you have too, or if it'll sit on there nice and neat. We also have spool caps if you need to add that at this time. And that is a perfectly wound bobbin ready to go. Now, from there, it is time to load our bobbin into the machine. Now, if you look at this here, there's a plastic piece right there with the arrow pointing down. Pull down on that lever and it will release your bobbin cover. We're going to set that to the side. And this one has a tiny little picture on the bobbin cover. So we're going to follow exactly what it says there. We're going to turn the bobbin so it represents this here. And we're going to drop that directly into our bobbin case. And then following the arrows, we're going to wrap ourselves all the way around. And there's a thread cutter at the end that pops off our thread. Reattach the bobbin cover by putting in on the left side first and pushing down. And that is a successfully loaded bobbin. So now how do we thread the machine or thread the needle? Super simple here. Obviously we just wound our bobbin, so I'm gonna leave this just like this. I'm gonna pull everything back out. It's okay to pull it all back out. And we're gonna start using the numbers on the left side here. So we're gonna go through number 1, all the way around this big loop here. And there's arrows to help guide us. Going all the way down to number 3, around number 3, all the way up to number 4. Take up lever there, I'm gonna make sure it gets inside of it. Going straight down to number 5 and to number 6, which is right above the needle. To our left here is a needle threader. We're gonna go to number 7 and around to number 8. Now, if you've done this properly, all we're gonna do is push down here and it self-threads itself. Makes that super, super simple for everyone. And just like that, your DX2000 is threaded. Now, obviously, we're gonna check to see our stitch quality. This machine has a start-stop button right there, or we can use the foot control. I'm gonna choose to use the foot control today. Now, a couple of key features on this machine. Yellow button right here is our scissors. That's how we're gonna cut our thread. Needle up and down to the right of that. Directly below that is our speed control. And then to the top right corner of that is our press your foot up and down. Now this machine is really cool because you can use this button here, or you can use on the back, you have your press your foot lever as well. It also has the same feature as the DX2000 where the heel click is going to cut your thread. We can also program that to do other things for you if you so choose. Last but not least is if you want to change out your press your foot, simply remove it from the tape. Keep your tape, guys. There's a button on the back of your machine. It will drop the old one, put the new one in its place, and simply drop your press your foot on top. Now that we have a new one in place, take the old one and add some tape and put it back onto your machine. That way you do not forget it, lose it, or any of those things. So guys, as far as ironing stations, we have them throughout the store here, but I want to just show you how you use the iron more specifically because not all irons are the same. So first and foremost, iron is going to be put to the right of all of your ironing boards. There are 3 different levels of heat to your iron. At the very bottom, the very lowest portion of the iron where you can see a button, it says set. You click that button to set it to high. High is what we need for our cottons. If you leave this for about 30 seconds, it'll be blistering hot. Then you can remove the iron, it has no cord, and you iron away. Once you're done ironing, redock it, grab your next piece of fabric, and as you're grabbing your next piece of fabric, it is getting blistering hot once more. We do not add any liquids into our irons normally. Most people bring their own best presses, things like that, and that's what we asked you guys to use. If you need some water in the iron, just let us know and we'll be happy to fill it. Now guys, just to add into the Soya experience at your retreat, we offer design boards all around our shop here or all around the retreat center. These design boards are meant to be used and we want everyone to use them, but also have proper etiquette with it. If you're gonna throw something up on the design board to look at it, throw it up, get what you need, and then take it down so someone else can be using the design board. We offer over 120 feet of design board that is 8 feet tall. So we have plenty of space for everyone, but make sure that when you're throwing them up there, don't throw it up on Monday morning and take it down on Friday when the retreat ends. Make sure that everyone can be using these spaces, and we are doing the very best that we can to offer the most that we possibly can. In addition to that, we have our cutting stations and our ironing stations. Make sure that as you're using them, use your ironing stations, use your cutting stations, and don't leave a mess for the next guy. We offer trash cans throughout the facility, and there are 2 trash cans per table, little teeny blue buckets. Make sure you're using them as well. And with that, guys, we hope that you enjoy your stay at our retreat. And if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.